Welcome, dear Sangha, to our Serkhangma Prayer Commentary series with our Venerable Khenpo Tenzin. We will begin in our yellow Buddhist Institute prayer book on page 4 and page 5. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
Tangwe doji shaje rezon ro anjinja mada doja panjam ba serje lomba tabre jibak shakje jarbe jadungu zan zar dorjen chanjen telo naro tam maba mala chuje gambo pa pamadre ba jawan dagom gaju lama namje da je dananda zara damje da lama labla ye jiso zon la zon yonde jamzong ala Tende donjende begele zor dagelo chusando varzinje labdos or chulamdando varzinje labdos lamdro azevrazinje labdos or ndrova ishusanja varzinje labdos or kange dinjende varnjo ngapa me bajem Chiba me bada me bawa me bando me bada de me dunje me tribanye yishedem ba zobasanje mananj tamba de la janzar do dunjen zawe lama jije kuzon do jazilan dada dage julambe dage temba dan sunje je donja jimbon rabar sunje labdo so grant your blessing so that my mind may be one with the Dharma. Grant your blessing so that the Dharma may go along the path. Grant your blessing so that the Dharma may be clarify confusion. Grant your blessing so that I may transform confusion into wisdom. Very good morning, dear Dharma brothers and sisters. Today we will continuously teach and listen and reflect on Golden Temple commentary. We already began with the 7 branches. Among 7 branches, first is Prostration. In the root text, it says, Three kayas, nature of the mind, Vajradhara, you are inseparable from great bliss. Bow down to you with the innumerable bodies like cloud banks, yearning with a full voice. I prostrate and go for refuge. So we already explained on the kayas. So now we continuously teach and listen rest of day before yesterday teaching. So prostration means in Tibetan cha. Cha means actually make clean. As I often mention that we all have Buddha nature, Shakyamuni's Buddha's Buddha nature, and Samhitabhadara's Buddha nature, and our Buddha nature. They are same. There's no difference between their Buddha nature and our Buddha nature. But we are going to purify obscurations. They already purified their obscurations. So only different is that. So then usually we say cha or prostration, it means respect. But this is not only action of respect, respecting or respect. That means we purify through our obscurations. That means purifying the obscuration of body, obscuration of speech, and obscuration of mind. So in reality, our body is Yidam deity's body. Yidam deity's body is like rainbow. So it has beautiful. It has many attributes, but it is not solidly exist. So then, for example, if there was appearing rainbow, and we shoot the gun or arrow or whatever we do, it cannot harm that rainbow. Similarly, the Yidam deity's body is harmless. Sufferings cannot suffer, and any other obstacles cannot harm. Actually, our bodies are also same. This body cannot harm by any weapons. It cannot harm by any kind of nature disasters and inner disease. but we right now our body and mind are like ice. So ice, we can break it by stones or other things. We can melt it, but that ice melted into the water. Then how much we using like weapons or arrow or something, it cannot harm that water, harm the water. Similarly, right now our body is like ice, so it's very sensitive, very easy to harm, very easy to pain, very easy to suffer. But if we realize that the our body is like bodies are like Yadam deity's body, then we will liberate from suffering. Our body is also liberate from suffering. So the Dharma is actually so important to free from suffering. I mean, through the method of Dharma, then we can free from suffering. So we have many living examples. For example, precious masters, they are in the prison, but they are always enjoy there. They have no more food, no more drink, but they have lots of lots of work and so on, but they are happy. So that means they are liberated from this temporary sufferings. So we have to know that I'm listening Serkhangma prayer, so I'm going to take some benefit. So you should commitment from your mind. Today I'm listening this Serkhangma commentary, and I should liberate from the suffering. Because the Serkhangma teaching is for liberating suffering and liberating obstacles. So we have to use it, utilize it to liberate from suffering. So this is so cha or prostration means we purify these temporary obscurations. So we prostrate Yadam deities or embodiment of we are going to prostrate. We prostrate our Guru through our body, speech, and mind, because Guru is embodiment of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So with your mind, recall all their qualities and attributes. With your body, emanate thousands of bodies and make prostrations. With your mind, your speech, recite the stanza beginning with Turikaya's nature of the mind Vajradhara. Make a commitment to take refuge in the Guru's Turikayas until attaining enlightenment. have no doubt that the Guru is the protection that can liberate us from samsara. The Trikaya nature of mind of Vajradhara means that the Guru's mind is naturally emptiness. So it is Dharmakaya. The Guru's mind is naturally clarity. So it is Sambhogakaya. From the union of emptiness and clarity, spontaneously radiate the Guru's compassion and Buddhichita. So the Guru's mind is Nirmanakaya. The Guru's nature of mind is spontaneously accomplished. It is beyond fabrication, permanence or impermanence, speaking, reflecting, and description. As Lord Jigten Sungkun said in the 7th branch, I pay homage to my Guru, Pamudrupa. Your innate mind is Dharmakaya, spontaneously established and uncomposed, beyond speaking, reflecting, or description. There are many ways to praise the Guru, and among them, the best way is to see the Guru's nature and attributes. That's why it says in the prayer that all Buddhas gather in the Guru's body. Inherently, the Guru is Vajradhara and the source of the 3 jewels. The thousands of Buddhas come from the Guru. Without the Guru, even the name of the Buddhas do not exist. The Guru is the Dharmakaya, but at the relative level, we cannot recognize that. We have to train in pure perception, especially regarding the Guru's activities. We should think that all his Guru's actions are for the benefit of sentient beings and see them with pure perception instead of seeing mistakes. The way to train in seeing all the Guru's actions as being for the benefit of sentient beings is as in this prayer of the Trikayas to Guru Rinpoche. Out of great compassion, you come for the sake of beings to accomplish benefit for sentient beings. With the skills necessary to train each and everyone, I invoke the Nirmanakaya Guru of the 3 times. The way to train in pure perception is also as in this prayer of the Trikayas to Guru Rinpoche. Whatever is seen through the eyes, the outer universe, and the living beings within, however they appear, remain in a state of not grasping to them as real. In such freedom from duality, all things are seen as a divine form, luminous yet empty. I invoke the Guru naturally free of desire and attachment. Whenever we give rise to any negative thoughts or toward the Guru, we shouldn't follow those thoughts. We should just look at our own mind. As Gutsangpa said, look at your mind nakedly. Also, Tsangpa Jare said, if we rest at ease, this is the Dharmakaya. So let your mind relax, just as it is. At that time, fabricated mind spontaneously disappears. So there are the different layers of practice. Usually we say Vajrayana, Mahayana, and Hinayana, or higher capacity, middling capacity, and lower capacity. They all depend on our mind. It's one practitioner's mind. They are not that much related kind of different tradition. But this is a related group of practitioners. For example, there are many group of practitioners of Vajrayana. Then we call the Vajrayana practitioner, or we call those traditions, we call Vajrayana tradition. And then those who practice Buddhichita, then we call the Mahayana practitioner. Those who don't care for others, only practice Dharma or practice one's religion, but they don't care for others, then that means Hinayana. Finally, we all have same ambition, which is we in the one word is liberate from or free from suffering. Another way is we attain Dharmakaya. We plan to attain Dharmakaya. So, to attain Dharmakaya, there are many methods. But now we, our Dharma practitioners, we practiced Dharma for a long time. We listen Dharma for a long time. We reflect Dharma for a long time and meditate on Dharma for a long time. So now we understand what is the samsara and what is the nirvana, what are the sentient beings and what are the kayas. So, and also we know that the cause of samsara and the cause of nirvana. Right now we know only it is time to practice. If we realize the nature of samsara, then that is Dharmakaya or nirvana. we know right now we understand that. So we understand that samsara is ocean of suffering. Then we understand the nirvana is ocean of peaceful peace and harmony and happiness and joy. So we understand that still if we create the cause of samsara, then this is very much punishment for oneself or for oneself. So it is time to liberate from suffering. If we relax at ease for 1 hour, we are Dharmakaya for 1 hour. If we created the activity of samsara for 1 hour, then we are samsaric being for 1 hour. So in this week, if we meditate, reflect, practice very well about Dharma, and then in this week is a joyful week. If in this week we cultivate lots of negative karmas, then this week could be hell realm. So hell realm, as Nagarjuna said, hell realm and hunger ghost realm, animal realm, they all related to our mind. So related to our mind means according to the attachment and aversion, we create lots of sufferings, and then this result ripen, or this result experience that result, this result, and then we are suffering so we call it samsara. So that's why we should understand the nature of our mind. Nature of our mind is we cannot buy from the shopping centers, and we cannot get it beyond the mountains or rivers. But also, if you can, the nature of a mind, we cannot find even if we went to the different planets. But nature of our mind is we get only the method of Dharma practice. So then how we get the nature of our mind is relaxing. From the relaxing. Just relax. Just relax and just watch. Watch it. So, but we try to relax on nature of our mind, and we try to watch it, but still there are some obscurations between the nature state of mind and our attention. There are some obscurations. So we are going to purify that. So that's why prostration is so important. If you are going to make clean this temple, the broom or vacuum, they are very important. Similarly, this body is for purifying the non-virtues of our form. Our speech is for purifying the non-virtues of our speech. So our wisdom is for purifying non-virtues of mind. So right now we have 3 doors: body, speech, and mind. So we utilize them, and we should purify. We should purify these non-virtues. And then next is the explanation in detail. In the Prostration has explained briefly and in detail, right? Let me see. Yeah. It has presented in brief and then in detail. So now we are in detail in our own. The root text says, the Serkhangma root text says, your body, the nature of a precious Buddhichita, is inseparable from all the victorious ones of the three times. Thus, or Buddha fields are permitted by your body, and within your body all Buddha fields appear. I bow down to the glorious ones. The first of the five aspects is the body. The body is described here as having the nature of precious Buddhichita, as being inseparable from the Buddhas of the three times, and as having the especially quality of manifesting tremendous numbers of Buddha fields in each pore. Buddhichita is said here to be precious, which implies its great value and rarity, like gemstone. For instance, in worldly terms, a gem is considered to be very precious because of its rarity and what can be done with it. The nature of Buddhichita can only be compared to things in the world that are of the highest value, because there is nothing more valuable than Buddhichita. Its value transcends that of any other conceivable phenomena. The body of Buddha embodies Buddhichita. It is the manifestation of Buddhichita. They are of the same nature. This is not just a singular occurrence, but it is said to be inseparable from the bodies of all the Buddhas of the past, present, and future. This is because they are all of the same nature and accomplish the same purpose. A Buddha's body is defined according to where it occurs. It occurs with all the Buddha fields. Likewise, magnificent Buddha fields manifest within the body of each Buddha. Within each of them, other Buddhas manifest in yet more Buddha fields. In this way, a Buddha is venerated as being glorious and precious. The definition of homage is respect. It is classified in terms of body, speech, and mind. Through the body, homage is expressed through physical gestures such as prostrations. Through the speech, it is expressed through eloquent and melodious praise. Through the mind, it expressed through devotion. There are also 8 kinds of prostration. First is realization of Dharma Dhartu. That means we have to realize our own Rigpa or intrinsic awareness as the Buddha. Actually, the Rigpa, so Rigpa is Tibetan, but we use this when in English. So Rigpa is in the higher teachings like Zopa Chimbo and Mahamudara, and at that time Rigpa means our intrinsic awareness. But still we use it since we the subject of mind and mentalities. So Rigpa and consciousness and mind, they are synonym in that subject. But Rigpa, right now we don't know our Rigpa, so that's why we are in the samsara. Milarepa also said, now I am not seeing ordinary consciousness, but I am seeing the wisdom. So if we see our wisdom, and then we will not see sentient beings. We can see Yidam deities. So that means we are going to understand what is Rigpa. So Rigpa is the union of emptiness and clarity. So looking at the Rigpa, looking at the essence of Rigpa, it is emptiness. But it is very clear. So that's where Rigpa means the union of clarity and emptiness. So we have to, when we understand the essence of Rigpa, or we understand the Rigpa, and then these thoughts, our thoughts cannot interrupt our meditation, especially that meditate on the Rigpa, then these thoughts are become like snowflakes, right? So snowflakes just fall on the water, it spontaneously melt inside. Similarly, when we meditate on the Rigpa, and then all the thoughts just appear, of course, but they dissolve into the ocean of awareness. So the Rigpa, or intrinsic awareness, to realize intrinsic awareness, this is extremely important. The way this become prostration is described in the 5 stages Tantara. As water poured into water, as butter mixed with butter, oneself clearly seeing one's own intrinsic awareness is the prostration. Second is the ninefold prostration. These are prostrating when we receive in empowerment, when we receive teachings, and when we receive path instructions. By prostrating 3 times of each of these, that totals 9. Third is the prostration of the bird feather. This is prostrating to a king, to an ordained monk, or to a ngakpa. Fourth is respectful prostration. This involves the respect of young people for old people. Fifth is the royal prostration. There are 3 kinds. 1, kneeling. 2, with 1 knee on the ground. 1 hand, and then 1 hand of the chest. 1 hand in front of the chest. And then third, the third kind has 21 classifications. There are, according to the different tradition, so there are many ways to prostrate. So the 6th is the Charavika prostration. This involves placing both hands together in front of one's forehead. 7th is the women or queens prostration. This is like birds picking up seeds. 18th is the female prostration. This is a half prostration with the hands, knees, and forehead touching the ground. Prostrations are taken from the example of a peacock drinking water. The benefit of prostrations is like this. Once there was an ordained monk who prostrated to a stupa containing some of the Buddha's hair and a fingernail. Ananda asked the Buddha what benefit there was from the prostration. The Buddha replied that the merit is greater than the particles of dust under his body when he prostrated once. Also, the Ushinisha on the Buddha's crown was created from his showing respect to his guru in a previous life. In addition, prostrations are the antidote to pride. Pride is like a ball that's turned upside down. When one has pride, the Buddha's teachings cannot enter the mind, just as water cannot be poured into an upside-down bowl. Also, if one has pride, then one's little knowledge cannot benefit others. There are 7 types of pride. First is the pride of high self-regard. High self-regard, which means believing that you are better than those below you. Second is excessive pride, which means believing yourself to be better than those who are higher than you. Third is overbearing pride, which is believing you are the best of anyone. Fourth is the pride of I, which is believing that the 5 aggregates are an I. Fifth is the pride of high self-existence, which means seeing yourself as being only slightly below a great person. Sixth is deluded pride, which means acting incorrectly but believing you are right. Seventh is arrogant pride, which means believing that you have many good attributes. So pride is fifth afflictive emotion. The cause of pride, we say rebirth in God's realm. But many Dharma practitioners misunderstand that. I'm sorry, it's possible according to some questions. If not, then I'm sorry. They thought, in the Dharma says pride will rebirth in God's realms. So I would like to rebirth in God's realm, so I would have pride. It seems true, but so we here what we can understand is to understand the Dharma practice is very important. So otherwise we think, we need pride because I'm going to rebirth in God's realm. So the gods, they have many pride. For example, right now we are in desire realm, so we have many desires. But if in the Dharma says the desire realms, the beings of desire realm, the cause of desire, and then you say, I would like to rebirth in desire realm because I like a human being or in this desire realm. If you say that, and then if you will rebirth in the desire realm, then you know, right now we experience how much suffering. We have suffering. So Similarly, in God's realm, and gods and goddesses in the they have also lots of what is called the suffering, especially right now in this human realm, the suffering and temporary happiness mixed. One day we are lots of suffering, but that next day later reduce that suffering, something like that. But the God's realm, in generally they have no more suffering. But right before right before they die, for 7 days they have a lot of suffering. But then you think, oh, for 7 days is pretty short. 7 days is pretty short, so I'm okay to suffer for 7 days. Other days they don't have suffering, but there's little, what is called tricky, yeah, kind of little. No, it's little kind of how to say. However, for example, in God's realm, you being for 100 years in God's realm. 19 what is it? No, not 12 11 month and 94, right? 94 days. For example, 12 months is 1 year, right? Why? Oh, I missed it. No, I'm not good at calculate. 100 years. 100 years. Yeah, 100 years has how many months? 1,200, right? Okay, anyway, so the what I try to say is, if you were rebirthed in God's realms, and you will suffer only for 7 days. 7 days. Other years and days, you will not suffer. But you feel 7 days is more longer than the other years. No, it doesn't make sense. So usually you live, for example, if you live in God's realms, right? You live in God's realms 100 years, 100 year. But you feel that the 100 years are very short. So we can understand that if you go to the party, right? Party with friends, enjoy, dance, sing a song. That day is very short. If you are hungry, thirsty, tired, exhausted, then 1 hour is so long. Similarly, in God's realm, 7 days is longer than 100 years. So that's why we have to understand that. But then they cannot practice when they were in joy. They don't care about Dharma because of their pride. They thought, oh, this is perfect. My beauty is enough. Right? I have such a beautiful, I have such a handsome, I have wealthy, I have healthy, I have everything. So I don't care any. They cannot believe in hell realm and the lower realms. But in 7 days, they have. And then they are always enjoy with the gods and goddesses, but then they're getting older. suddenly getting old, and then their friends rejected them, and their beautiful gardens, all the flowers become also old, and everything change. Especially right now we say, if I asked you, according to if you ask me, according to your karma, you should take rebirth, lower realms. So there are 3 lower realms. You can choose one of them: a hell realm, hunger ghost realm, animal realm. So if you give me this choice, definitely I cannot say I will rebirth in the hell realm. That means I understand through Dharma way the hell realm is full of suffering and a very serious suffering realm. So similarly, the gods, they are enjoy in the gods, they are enjoy in God's realm. So even they notice they were rebirth in the human realm, they are suffering, so much suffering, because this human realm or desire realm and the God's realm is like a beautiful garden and a muddy place. So big difference, right? So they don't like to rebirth in the lower realms, but they see they have how to say, the special vision of eyes and ears, so they can see it. They can see the hell realm, they can see the lower realms. So they don't like, but they understand where they rebirth, and after what happened, everything they noticed. So that's where the mistake of pride, they cannot practice in the God realm. But you rebirth, my main speaking is that you rebirth in God's realm, it does not mean only pride. You will rebirth in God's realm according to many virtues, many merits. For example, in the human realm, we rebirth in the human realm, it is according to many merits. It is related great karma. Not easy to rebirth the human realm, because in this human realm we have many golden opportunities and many wonderful things. So in God's realm also they have temporary happiness, temporary joy, and lots of good things there. So but the main thing is pride, but only pride will not rebirth in so that's why if you have only self-pride, it will not rebirth. It is not cause to rebirth God's realm. So this is very important to know, because otherwise to rebirth the God's realm, we don't want to practice Dharma, only we cultivate self-pride, it will rebirth. So if we think like that, this is misunderstand. But the pride is, if we utilize in correct way, right way, then pride is also useful. Among the 6 root afflictive emotions, pride is pretty positive afflictive emotion, because the cause of a pride will not rebirth directly in the only cause of a pride will not rebirth in the hell realm. But the mistake of a pride, I already mentioned through the 7 aspects. So pride is a very strong obscuration to receive nectar of Dharma knowledge, and especially pride is related. Pride is related wrong view. So there are many wrong views in this world. Many wrong view is, there's no cause and effect. There's no karma. There is no Buddha. Only this life. Whatever do is related to this life. Somebody has this view. This view is also pride. So then this view, someone who has this view, then they don't care about next life. If they don't care about next life, they don't care about next year. They don't care about next year, they don't care about next day, tomorrow. And then they don't care about tomorrow, then they don't care about others. They only care oneself. Then they do whatever for the sake of oneself. Because their wrong view does not allow to enter right view. In the relative level, right view is cause and effect or karma. At least we anxiety or afraid of karma. Today we do that, tomorrow maybe this result will happen, or somebody do something on there, we later worry about this. And then we take care about that. And then we take care about next years and then next life. So pride is very much, suddenly it is not serious, non-virtue, but we should take care, especially over Dharma practitioners. How much we have Dharma knowledge, and then we can be humble, and because if you are a tree of fruits, and then on one tree has many fruits, and this branch automatically bow down like almost prostration. So that's where you have real knowledge or not. It is how much you respect to others and how much you are humble. That demonstrate. If you cannot respect to others, and you cannot being humble, that means you have less knowledge. Knowledge, what is the meaning of knowledge? No, there's already say no means understand. What do you understand? Is the, according to Buddhist, we should know Dharma. If I think knowledge, G means probably large, you understand a large thing. And then large things you carry, right? You carry large things on your shoulder, then you spontaneously bow down. So physically you respect. When you speak, you can politely speak. And then you're from your mind. You can see at least each person has different qualities. If we have strong pride, then we cannot see others' qualities. So we respect each others, and then through this way harmony comes from there. I'm an honest person, I'm directly say whatever thing. This is a little bit it's depending with the time, and if someone like it. But I think this is not so necessary thing. Everybody can say directly whatever. Directly means we should think, be mindful means we lead directly by our thoughts. So when we speak, we should respect, because these all mother sentient beings are our mother, so we have to respect our mother, or all these sentient beings are our Dharma brothers and sisters. Because without these beings, how we practice 6 perfections, how to be patient, how generate compassion, Buddhichita. So, all sentient beings are our brothers and sisters. If we respect our brothers and sisters, for example, I respect to my siblings, then this is a good thing, right? My parents were happy, and they are also, my siblings are also happy, and then they will help more to me. So, in this world, actually this is a degenerated time. But Guru Rinpoche said, time is not changing, but the action of the people changes. That's where it is become degenerate time. So right now we all have a very strong self-centered attitude or egoistic mind. Through this way, we did a lot of things for oneself. We don't care others' life and life's styles. If I don't care others, other people, for example, and then other people also don't care to me. That is the law of karma. So, in generally, we are going to change our mind through the reflect on Dharma. This is really great beneficial. I have not deep experience about Dharma, but from small way, in temporarily, what makes benefit more to me is I just meditate, just stay quietly for 1 hour, nothing. I don't create any thoughts and just stay, and then after dedicate it, and then goes with I go with a friend, spend time with a friend. This doesn't, it has, of course, a great benefit, but seems it's not that much improve my behavior, honestly. And I reflect on there, more reflect on what happened, for example, what is the mistake of these afflictive emotions, for example, pride. I apply or I utilize pride, and then what happened, and reflect more, and then real times come, the opportunity or circumstance comes there, and then this reflection makes more help. So we have to think this, understand pride. Only Vajrayana practice, we can practice we can utilize pride. But that time, how do we utilize is, my 5 aggregates are 5 family Buddhas. we call it pride. So we need it. But at the same time, all appearances are also Yidam deity's form. That's why there is no opportunity to create disrespect. Whatever we see are Yidam's form, whatever we hear, Yidam's mantra, and then whatever people's thought and our thoughts are Dharmakaya. So then there is no way to create any mistakes. We during the Vajrayana practice, we apply pride. So this is a big difference. Right now, if I think, I have a special Dharma knowledge, I'm a special, I'm a spiritual teacher, think like that, this is totally negative. Totally negative. And then I say, you guys didn't learn Dharma, so you guys don't know. I know Dharma because I learned it. If I have that understand, totally wrong. Because each and every one have Dharma wisdom. Something I don't know, definitely you know. Especially when I listen the Dharma questions, it's really wonderful. I have a special, confidence. If you study Dharma, you will know Dharma much better than me, much more better than me, definitely. Because since you were young, you studied different knowledges. It helps. To studying Dharma is also similar. Only different thing is motivation, probably. When you went to the school, your main purpose is for a good job and salary. You focused that. And when I studied Dharma, this is not I was great, but according to the kindness of my spiritual teachers, they always combine with the loving kindness, Buddhichita, compassion, emptiness. So then it's a little I hear a lot about these things. So, and then, Dharma practice means not for the money, not for the good job, only good job, but this means for the benefit others, something like that. Only mind has that. So, however, the pride, self-pride, we are going to reduce and we are going to purify self-pride. But courage is very different from pride. Courage. We need courage. We need courage because we are Mahayana practitioner. Of course, we are Vajrayana practitioner. So we should help all mother sentient beings. So that we need courage. I can help all mother sentient beings. I can help the countless of sentient beings through my single Dharma word. We need like this courage. For example, Shakyamuni Buddha is in the relative level. Shakyamuni Buddha is a single person, one person. Shakyamuni Buddha has no armies, no weapons. Shakyamuni Buddha has only Dharma wisdom. And Shakyamuni Buddha has only compassion and Buddhichita. So, he started. Usually it says that sometimes it says it's maybe very rare to hear for you. First, Buddha after he became enlightened, first he started to teach. There is no listener. That's where he said, okay, I realized a very profound Dharma, but I should teach it. Nobody understand. That's why I will stay in the forest. So he stayed in the forest, deep forest, for 49 days. And then after he started again to teach Dharma, he has only 5 disciples. That was 2,600 years ago. But right now, Dharma is flourish around the world. So, especially how many people, sinful people, become bodhisattvas and Buddhas. Right now we say our Guru is a living Buddha, and you are my Vajra brother, you are my Vajra sister, all mother sentient beings. This word comes from one person's method, which is Serkhangma Buddha. So that's where we need courage. Only Buddha can do that. Especially others, there are different things. For example, king system in India. There were many kingdoms, but they all slowly disappear in this world. For Buddha, he has also many disciples of kings, but slowly they disappear. Otherwise, they are very powerful at that time. They were very powerful. But Buddha Dharma continuously flourishing, increasing. So that's why we have to keep courage. Perhaps today, according to our Dharma practice, it's possible there are less popular or no more benefit. But it benefits generation by generation. If you write one text, for example, Lord Jigten Sunggu wrote this Serkhangma text in a few pages, but still it's over 800 years ago. Since 800 years ago, still we are reflect on there, meditate on there. So we can benefit for many sentient beings through the Dharma practice. And also, if we cannot benefit many sentient beings, but definitely we can benefit one person's life in many times. For example, today we discuss on the Dharmakaya, Buddha nature, and then that person probably just hear that words and just a little reflect, that's all. But it's very possible a few years later that person will wake up on there. That person will realize that Dharmakaya or Buddha nature, and then liberate. And also, if you listen Dharma in this life, and then next join the Bardo, right now Dharma teaching is like a map, right? Map. If you are going to the city, you have a car, you have money, but if you don't know where you have to go, then you are confused. Maybe you drive a car in the wrong way. police, right? Police catch you, and you get or they get. You get ticket. This is lots of obstacles. But if you know how to look at the map and you use that, and then you go to the big city like New York City or somewhere, you are free. then you have a car and you get a very good restaurant and very good hotels and very good nice views. Similarly, Bardo is a very complicated stage. Bardo is a very complicated stage. Because Bardo means limbo, it's not sure where you should go. So, right now you learn Dharma, even though you often heard the name of Yidam deities, in the Bardo, then you understand when Yidams appear to you, you suddenly understand, oh, they are the Yidams. They are my Yidams. And then you will not afraid of them. And then you were not afraid of them. And then you will become friend. And then you follow them. And you follow them. During the Bardo, you see wrathful deities. But you can follow them because right now you make great karma. And then you follow them, you reach in nirvana. So now if you don't care about the Yidam deities' names and you don't learn and reflect and meditate on Dharma, during the Bardo, you heard a different sound. You cannot appear them as a mantra. And during the Bardo, you see the Yidam deities, you are afraid more than you are afraid of ghost. So then you try to run away. You cannot run away beyond the 6 realms. So then you take rebirth in the being of 6 realms. And then again the experience suffering. So that's why to listen Dharma, it was a great benefit for me. Also, I listen the Dharma from my gurus, spiritual masters, and sometimes at that moment I was ever boring, sometimes boring. Bored, and less interesting sometimes. I had that experience, but it's funny. Few years later, those things makes more benefit for me. Suddenly, sometimes, oh wow, something like that. This feeling is pretty more impermanent. Sometimes listening Dharma, wow, something like that, and suddenly almost the tails come from the eyes. And so that's why I think it's Milarepa said, Nyam nawunta the yanendo. Nyam is a little kind of experience like hazy or foggy on the mountainside. It just temporarily comes, temporarily disappear. So that's where it's big different. However, so we listen Dharma and reflect and then meditate on. We have 3 responsibilities. So we should carry that. So prostration is antidote of self-pride, but prostrations are not the antidote to courage. Everyone understands about courage, so I also later talked on there, but actually no need to talk much about it here. And next is how to actually perform prostrations. When we do our prostration, we first join our 2 hands together to represent the union of method or compassion and the wisdom of emptiness. bring your two hands together over the center of your crown. At that time, you are prostrating to your Guru, who is indivisible from Vajradhara. When you join your two hands together, don't make them flat. Keep your middle fingers slightly apart like a blossom with the thumbs inside. Next, bring your hands to your forehead to represent purifying the physical impurities of yourself and all sentient beings. So Buddhichita, how to practice Buddhichita, how to combine with Buddhichita means, usually we think the open prayer books, the head of there, we recited, at that time we generated Buddhichita, and then middle of this, sometimes we think, oh, there's no way to generate Buddhichita. We have. Why we do the open prayer with this refugee prayer and generating Buddhichita prayers? Because it will remind, we should remember the kindness of three jewels, and we remember to generate Buddhichita and compassion. So the physical impurities of yourself and all sentient beings will purify the obscurations, and you receive the blessings of all the Buddha's bodies. From among the three jewels, you are prostrating to the Buddha, and from among the three kayas, you are prostrating to the Nirmanakaya. Then bring your hands to your throat to represent purifying the verbal impurities of yourself and all sentient beings. You receive the blessings of all the Buddha's speech. From among the three jewels, you are prostrating to the Dharma, and from among the three kayas, you are prostrating to the Sambhogakaya. Next, bring your hands to your heart to represent purifying the mental impurities of yourself and all sentient beings. So, as I mentioned to you, there are many different aspects of prostrations. So even you hold two hands together, join two hands together, which place is okay. So this is also including prostration. So when you have two responsibilities. When you join your hand, for example, area of your heart chakra, and you remember all the qualities of Buddha's mind. What is Buddha's qualities of Buddha's mind? Buddhichita and compassion in relative level, and the ultimate level, intrinsic awareness. And then you supplicate, may I receive it? And then what is for what? And then you benefit for mother sentient beings. So that's where you will. So you receive the blessings of all the Buddha's minds. From among the three jewels, you are prostrating to the Sangha. So, and from among the three kayas, you are prostrating to the Dharma kaya. So why the what is the Sangha? The Sangha is actually Dharma Sangha make flourish Dharma. So Buddha Dharma will flourish through practice. So that's where Sangha is the main, Sangha is the principle to flourish Dharma. So that's when Dakinis, they also protect, Dharma protectors protect Sangha. Dharma protector, we just use Dharma protector, but in reality, they protect the Dharma practitioners. If they protect the Dharma practitioners, then Dharma will save spontaneously. So Dharma protectors, they commitment from the Buddha and other Mahasiddhas to protect the Dharma practitioners. So if we practice well, then Dharma protectors are always with us like over shade over body's shade. They always look take care of us. Even we are going through the cars and we are whatever we do, they help us. But then at the same time, we need merit, we need a karma. So we need a good karma. This is very important. And then pull your hands apart to represent helping all mother sentient beings through compassion and relative and ultimate Buddhichita. Then place your knees on the ground to purify afflictive emotions and intellectual obscurations. Afflictive emotions are gross obscurations that obscure the minds of lower practitioners. Intellectual obscurations are more subtle obscurations that obscure the minds of higher practitioners. So lower and higher, it does not mean only, for example, which tradition. It is in the 10 bhumis. In the Vajrayana, Mahayana have 11 bhumis. Vajrayana has actually 13 bhumis. Among them, under the 8th bhumi are lower bhumis. They have afflictive emotions. They have imprint of desire, imprint of anger, and so on. But 9th and 10th bhumi, the bodhisattvas who reach there, they don't have these afflictive emotions, obscurations of afflictive emotions, but they have intellectual obscurations, which means very subtle. It's very hard to purify. So their responsibility is to purify these subtle obscurations. Next, place your hand flat on the ground. By placing your 10 fingers on the ground, you plant the seed of the 10 bhumis. The 10 bhumis are the qualities of realization of practitioners who have transcended samsara. So we call this body is a Vajra body. Why we call it a Vajra body? Because our body is full of yidam deities, mandala. So that's why we can make this seed. Next, touch your forehead to the ground. This creates the cause for attaining the 11th bhumi. According to the Suttarayana, this is the stage of Buddha In the Vajrayana, the stage of Buddha is said to be the 13th Bhumi. In Zopa Chimbo, with the Tikchu and Tugal, there are said to the 16 or even more Bhumis. Next, extend your arms and legs all the way out and then draw them back. This means you will achieve the Buddha's 4 activities of pacifying, enrichment, subjugating, and wrath. Next, curl your spine and extend it upwards. This helps free your channels of knots. The wind will travel well through the center channel, and you will have many profound realizations. Finally, stand up to represent liberating all mother sentient beings from samsara. One temporary benefit of prostrations is that they help with phlegm disease, which are the result of ignorance. When we do prostrations, we exercise our body, speech, and mind, and our wisdom increase. Wisdom is the antidote to ignorance, so it purifies phlegm diseases as well. When the hands, knees, and forehead touch the ground, that purifies the 5 afflictive emotions of desire, hatred, ignorance, pride, and jealousy. All of the prostrations, the best is the Dharma Darth prostration. This is also called the Vajra prostration because these virtues cannot be destroyed by any non-virtue. As Lord Jigten Sunggung said in a path instruction, with yogis realize non-conception, this is the Vajra prostration. The Vajra represents emptiness and ultimate truth of prostrations of body, speech, and mind. Now we come to prostrations to the Guru's speech. The root text says, with your flawless, melodious speech, like in ocean of Ambroksha, you show all phenomena to be unborn, thereby defeating the Mount Mirror of views. I prostrate to your unhindered Vajra speech. The Guru's Vajradhara speech has no harsh words, no lack of clarity, and is melodious. It has many features such as following: refreshing for mind, flexible, soft, pleasant, delightful, pure, faultless, clear, pleasantly soothing, worthy of being heard, harmless, subdued, smooth, fan, delightful to hear, refreshing for the body, generating pleasure and happiness, and completely without sadness. Perhaps you think completely without sadness, but it mentioned the suffering of samsara, how can be. So reflecting means like that. So when you reflect, you should think like this. Or Buddha's speech is completely without sadness. But the difference is, if you have experience, when you have compassion, compassionately tears come from your eyes, rolling down from your eyes. These tears are nectar. These tears will benefit others and benefit yourself. For example, Avalokiteshvara, he commitment from or within Amitabha, and he liberate these all mother thinking beings from samsara, and he did for many times, but still there are many thinking beings remain in the ocean of samsara, and then he upset. He was upset, and it says he then he break his samaya. That's why then his head become many pieces. But then Amitabha Buddha again helped him to bring the piece of his head, and then he had 11 more head. He had. However, Avalokiteshvara, his compassion, power of compassion, rolling down the tears from his eyes, then Tara appears. Tara appeared from there. So that's why it's big different. If we have egoistic mind, that moment we have sadness. This sadness badly affect our mind. This is very heavy. This result is suffering. But through the compassion and loving kindness and devotion, tears come from our eyes is nectar or amrita. So nectar or amrita, Tibetan called duzi. Du means mara. Zi means to, like a soap. What is called soap? Soap to wash. Soap for washing clothing. So this is amritas purifying. It is a metaphor. So it purifying all maras. So that's where completely without sadness means when we hearing Buddha's teachings, and then we will not sad. It's possible the tears come from our eyes, and but we will not sad. This sad, the result is happiness. Result, joyful. And then producing universal knowledge. Buddha's speech has this quality. Universal knowledge, for instance, right now we have different knowledge. We have different knowledge. But Buddha has omniscience. So omniscience see your until you become enlightened. Since when you started to come in this samsara, and each and every single moment what you did or what you have been doing and what you will do, everything Buddha knows. And the future what you will do, Buddha knows. Buddha knows each and every your karma. And also Buddha knows on the one tree which cause, how old this tree. These are pretty easy part actually for Buddha. For us, it's difficult. For scientists, pretty easy. So, but the Buddha knows. Then especially Buddha knows emptiness on a tree. Buddha knows emptiness on our body. So that's where we learn the Buddha Dharma. If we learn properly Mahayana tradition, Vajrayana tradition, and then we know a lot of things. There are a lot of informations. For example, outer planets. In the mandala, recently we are practicing mandala, right? In the mandala, as Vajrayana way, like a Kalchakra way, they explain about our universe. And in the Sutara way, they explain about our planets, our universe. Buddha Dharma explain about the sun, moon, and stars, and then, of course, these are in this day scientists also explain vividly. But Buddha explained about the each and every numbers of your channel on your body, chakras of our body, and then your mind. So right now, nowadays, mind is very difficult to explain about the mind, but the Buddha Dharma explain about this. However, if we conclude, if we don't go far away, it's if we conclude, so everything is depending on our mind. So Buddha Dharma said that. So this is very true. Everything is our mind. Sometimes I'm not a great practitioner and not great Dharma knowledgeable, but I really sometimes really think that one person, when I am angry, that person is my enemy. When I am, I like or I'm a friend with that person, this person is my friend. Then I think, oh, this is my mind, definitely. But this comes from Dharma. This method is come from Dharma. So that's where Dharma is really amazing. So this is a very simple way of reflect. So everything is our mind. The mind is emptiness. Mind is a Dharmakaya. And only through one method we can liberate from suffering. So that's where producing universal knowledge, producing thoroughly understanding, logical. Logical is also favorite for someone, not favorite for someone. But sometimes it is useful. Logical and blindly faith is big different. Blindly faith means you trust something, but that thing is not helpful for you, but you believe it. You strongly believe it. And finally, it leads you wrong path, wrong way. At that time, you will regret, but that is too late. So if you logically believe, this belief the logic has actually different layers. Okay, right now my logic, I say logic here is I focus on the Dharma in Buddhist logic. What I learned, that part. Other part I don't know. So perhaps when you heard logic, maybe you focus in different part. So my focusing on logic is in this Nalindra masters, what they taught. They taught about your mind and mentalities. And this external, for example, in the Only Mind school, it says how to appear one form appears to your eyes consciousness. It mentioned logically how to appear. They have also slightly different layers. For example, one Only Mind school, it says these only the form that reflect to your eyes, and then you see it. But then this goes little higher Only Mind school that said it appears from imprint of your mind. So externally there is nothing anything exist. So they have, and then another layer says they are illusion. Whatever the object of these appearances and the subject of your eyes consciousness and air consciousness, they are all illusion. So that's where this logic I trust in this part. So I trust means I focus on there, and so then that's where I explain this. And then relevant, possessing the strength of a lion's roar. The lion, right? Lion's roar is very important. In the ancient time, when Buddha gives teaching, Buddha and masters give teaching, we don't have this metaphor or something. They didn't have internet and so on. That's why if they don't have a lion's roar, then disciples cannot hear vividly their teachings. Okay, probably now time is up. So actually right now I'm mentioning in the 60 melodies of Buddha's speech. So we will continuously in the Thursday. Okay. Now you arise Buddhichita in your mind, and we dedicate our teaching, reflecting, meditating, and all the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas merit together for the sake of peaceful world, and everybody will happy and liberate from suffering. Chancho semcho rinpoche ma chi ba nan ji jur che che ba nyam bar me bar yang gong ne gong de pe war sho.
May Bodhicitta, the precious and supreme mind, arise in whom it has not yet arisen. Where it has arisen, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher.
Thank you very much.